Hey guys, my name is Jennifer and I am Jenofeve Designs. Today we're going to start on our Crafty companion, a Crafty workstation with dividers. So it's this one right here. I would show you the actual thingy, but it's full of stuff, so I don't want to drag it up under the camera. But this is the one we're going to make. So you can see here there are 3 different sizes of full Crafty trays in there. Well, a lot of you may know I've been using my prototypes. I've been testing them out for quite some time now, and while I'm working on a project I need a few more of these skinnier trays. And then there's also this kind of workstation here that has like the mini racks on top. These are removable little mini racks. We're going to be making one of those as well because I find having both of them while I'm working on a project is super helpful. Plus, I also use this on the other side of me that holds my tape and my glue and all of that. So I like to have one that stays the way it is, holding my glue and my tape, and then one that has the products that I'm using for my project. But today, we're gonna make this one, and I'm gonna change it up, the sizes of the Crafty Cubbies. Only because I've been working with the same one for a while and I figured out kind of the things that I want. So that's something that that's something that you guys are going to have to do as well. You're going to have to kind of play around with it. Like make one, maybe not even cover it with paper yet. Just kind of make like a mock-up and see what size drawers that you prefer. Which size of the Crafty trays you would rather have, I guess is what I'm trying to say. So this is my printable template. It is available in my Etsy shop. There'll be a link down below. There is a specific playlist just for this template, and there'll be a specific playlist just for the Crafty workstation with dividers, and I will have that linked up here and down below. On that playlist, it'll be an introduction to the templates. There'll be my workbook video. There'll be, I haven't decided yet if I'm going to add the garbage bowl and ink tray video to it yet, because we've already made these, but there will be a full list. There will be a full list of the Crafty companion videos, so maybe I'll just leave that out of this list. But anyway, so that'll be linked up here and linked down below, the Crafty Companion YouTube video playlist. And I also have an Amazon list where it's specifically for the Crafty Companion. So all the things that I use in all of the different videos will be in that Amazon list. It's just for easy reference. The exact chipboard is down there. So if you just go down there, you hit that link, you go to the Amazon page, then you can hit the chipboard and you can see all the necessary information about that chipboard. And the reason I do that is because I get that same question. I get the questions about the products that I use multiple times every day, and it's just easier to have all of that information there ready for you for when you need it. Okay, so I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you how to make, this video here is going to show you how to make the Crafty Cubbies. So let's go to the Crafty Cubbie section in the workbook. Again, I wanted to remind you guys that I did staple the tabs down because they would not stay put. Okay, so here's the Crafty Cubbie section. Here's the workstation with the empty cubbies. See right there? So this is the largest one. I don't think I'm going to add the largest one to this one that we're making this time. But you could make one that has the large, the small, and the medium, whichever order you want them in, as your first like mock-up, and then work with that and see if you like that. But I do like it, but for when I'm working on a project, I want some more of the smaller drawers. So what you're gonna need is page number 1 in the Crafty Cubbie section, and then you're gonna need whichever size, whoops, I got stuck there, whichever size you're planning on making. So there's size A, B, and C. So it's large, medium, and small, basically. So I'm not going to do the A size for this, but I'm going to show you how to make the medium one, the B, but I'm also going to make some of the C off camera. Okay, so I think what I'm going to end up doing is making 2 of the B's and 3 of the C's. but I'm only going to make the one bee on camera. So I'm going to go ahead and grab this is the back panel, and then these are the side panels. So you just need those 3 pieces because we're going to trace them onto some chipboard. So that's page 1 and 2 in the Crafty Cubby section. Okay, here is my medium weight chipboard, and it is 12 by, actually I think it's a little bigger than 12 by 12. So what we're going to do is we're going to lay this on here, and I have this linked specifically in my Amazon list. So if you want to check it out to find out what medium weight is, go check out all the information there. I'm pretty sure I have it linked, a 25 pack linked, because depending on what you're planning on making, you're going to need it all. Okay, so we need 2 of these. So I'm going to go ahead and trace this out right here. Whoop, a little off. And then I'm going to trace that out one more time. I'm going to scoot it over, and it should be almost perfect. I also wanted to remind you that that was my workbook, my Crafty Companion workbook. That I just showed you, and I have a video specifically for that. I will link it here for you guys if you want to check it out. I do highly recommend you making some form of a workbook, whether it just be a binder, a folder with page protectors, whatever it is. I highly recommend that you make some form of a workbook, because there's so many pieces that you could easily get them lost. I might have to get into my scraps. Yep, that's what it looks like. So I'm going to go ahead now, and I'm going to trace the side panels twice. Whoop! Boy, I got way off on there. Let me pick that up and scoot it down, line it up. And I need one more. I need to find a scrap for this. I'll be right back. Well, I'll be darned. I don't have a scrap this size. Is this what was? No. I do have this left over from when we made the garbage bowl and things, but I was going to use this, yeah, for this. And what this is, let me explain. You're going to need 1 extra of the Crafty Cubby top and bottom panel. You're going to need 1 extra panel that's going to go on the very bottom of your workstation. So that's what I was going to use this leftover piece for. So I'm just going to set that aside, and we're just going to grab a fresh piece. So, because in reality, I'm going to be making 2 of these when it's all said and done. So, I don't know what's better to do. Okay, so anyway, so to make 1 Crafty Cubby, you need 2 of these top and bottom panels, page 1. You need 2 Crafty side panels, page 2. And you need to make sure you have the corresponding, so if you have the back panel that's the B, you need to have the side panel that's the B. This panel here works on all the sizes. It's the same for all 3 sizes. So you'll need 1 back panel and 2 side panels and 2 top bottom panels. Alright, now I'm going to get my craft mat out and a ruler. This is a Score Pal craft mat and a Tim Holtz ruler, and this is a Scotch utility knife. So I'm literally just going to start trimming these out. It's better to do multiple slices when you're cutting through thicker chipboard. Again, a reminder, do not use thick chipboard. I made the mistake of using thick chipboard on one of my prototypes, and the drawers, it was too tight. Things would not pull in and out, and it was frustrating as all get out. Oh, and that also reminds me, if I had one just sitting here empty, I would show you, but like, you probably can't tell, but there is room between all of these drawers. I did not make it to where it was super tight that you had trouble getting them in, because I want to be able to pull the whole thing out and push the whole thing back in with ease. So there is room. It's not going to be super tight. It's not going to be like a dresser that you would buy at the store. It is, there's a little bit of wiggle room in there. So I learned that from a long time ago when I made my storage unit that I had sitting by me all these years that you guys have asked about over, and this is the reason why I'm doing this template. I learned that a long time ago because it was frustrating getting those little drawers in and out. But of course, over 5 years time period, they came in, but then it started to sag. Anyway, we won't go into that. Okay, so now I'm going to cut these in half. Or cut these in half. I'm going to trim these two sections apart. Alright, I'm going to finish trimming all of these out, and then I'll be back. Alright, I got my two top and bottom panels, my back panel, and my two side panels cut out, trimmed out, ready to go. So because we have, if you bought this big Mama Jamba roll of tape, this is 6 inches wide. Because I have this, I'm going to do my construction strips a certain way. Maybe in another video I'll do them in a different way. Because, I mean, you guys know you could cut a 1-inch strip, score it down the middle, and put tape on either side of that score and use it like that as well. But I'm going to show you a fun way to do a bunch of them if you've got the big Mama Jamba roll. I'm going to grab a piece of white cardstock. This is what we're using. This is white 65-pound cardstock. It is a Recollections brand. And I'm going to get my scoreboard. This is a We Are Memory Keepers scoreboard. And I'm going to take a bone folder, or bone folder. Well, I guess it's a bone folder. This is a stylus. This is a pencil stylus, and it's, I keep forgetting what it's called, Dress My Craft. I've got it linked in my Amazon. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go through and I'm going to score 1/2 inch. Then I'm going to skip an inch, so then I'm going to score it 1.5. Skip an inch, score it 2.5. Score it 3.5. Score it 4.5. Score it 5.5. Score it 6.5. Score at 7.5. 8.5. 9.5, 10.5, and 11.5. So that leaves 1/2 inch on each end. I don't know how well you can see that. You see all the score marks? So I'm going to do that. And I think what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go ahead and prep those score marks just a little. I'm just going to use a Teflon bone folder. I'm going to go through and just go ahead and prep them. Because once you get the tape on, this is harder to do. You see how nice and smooth that pencil bone folder? Yeah, I guess it is a bone folder. That pencil stylus was on the paper. The other stylus that I use is good too. It's a We Are Memory Keepers. It's a good little stylus too. I just am very heavy-handed, and I tend to go through my paper. I don't know. I tell myself not to. but it just happens. So I'm trying that other one out, and so far, gotta say, I dig it. Again, that's linked in my Amazon, and I think I've got it linked in another store, just in case you don't shop on Amazon. Down in the description box below. Okay. Now let's see if we can't kind of get this reasonably flat again. Okay. So you could, if you wanted to, you could go through, cut these into 1-inch strips and put a 3/8 of an inch score tape on either side of the score. That's fine too. You could totally do that. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to roll this out here onto my craft mat. And I'm going to roll it up just a little bit more than I need to. My tripod's getting in the way. Just so it doesn't fight me. See how it wants to roll back on me? Okay. Alright, so what I'm going to try to do is the tape needs to be on the bumpy side for this type of construction. Well, half of it needs to be on the bumpy side, and then the other half needs to be on the other side, but we're not going to do that part today. Okay, so we need this tape on the bumpy side. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to carefully match this bottom edge up. Carefully, I'm moving it with my arm. Good job, Jen. Look, I'm doing it again. Okay, I'm having a hard time not letting my arm move the tape, but I'm going to lay this down. And I will tell you guys, this is definitely a time saver. Definitely. Put my bone folder up. No doubt about it. So then I'm going to take my craft knife. Just going to slice right on the edge there. But again, if you did not get this roll of tape, then you can just do it the other way, where you just add it to either side of that score mark. Now, I should probably keep this little 1/8 of an inch, but I'm not going to because I've got stuff everywhere right now. Okay, so I'm going to do the same thing again. I'm going to roll this out just like that, and then see, there's the tape on the one side. Now I'm going to put it on this side, and again I'm going to carefully try to line this up. My tripod's in the way ever so slightly. I didn't get it perfectly, but that's okay. It's okay. Alright. And then we're going to trim this off like that. Flip it around. Trim this extra bit off. Again, you could totally save that. And I think I got off over here. It may not matter, but I'm going to go ahead and try to trim it off anyway. Okay, so I do have a teeny little gap. See, look, I could have used those little pieces I trimmed off. Oh well. Next time I'll keep them. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and take, just because, I'm going to go ahead and take 1/8 of an inch. This is scrapbook.com. Take 1/8 of an inch piece down that little gap we got there. It may not be necessary, but you never know. It might be just in the wrong spot too. But that's okay. So let me move this. Now I'm going to get my paper trimmer, and I'm going to cut these into 1-inch strips. So it's 12, let's go to 11. Cut it down. Now I've got a 1-inch strip that's scored and has tape on the other side. So I'm just going to go through and trim all these down, and I'll be back. Oh, let me show you a trick. So this is a Fiskars Precision heavy duty paper trimmer, and I love this thing. It's my favorite. There's just one flaw. This channel here is right at 6 inches, and it's hard to see exactly where 6 inches is. So I have started to just, okay, so instead of trying to figure out what 6 inches is, I'm going to cut it at 5 inches. Oops, I got a little crooked there. So I cut, so there's 2 strips here together, and then I'm going to slice this, or put this back in here and cut these 2 apart. 1 inch, 1 inch. Instead of trying to figure out what that 6 inch is. Okay. Just a little tip. Also, I will tell you this, you know, doing this method, it will get your blade a little gummy. You might have to clean it more often than you're used to. Okay, so we got all of our strips here, and these are going to be for the inside of the Crafty Cubbies. Here's what I'm going to do, you guys. I'm going to lay this out. So we've got a bottom piece, we've got the back panel, and we got the top piece. So I'm just going to lay this out like this, and I'm going to take my Scotch tape, my transparent tape, just out of a tape dispenser, and I'm just going to kind of tack them together so that they don't move. Right? You don't have to do that. This is a step you could skip if you wanted to. I'm just going to tack this piece together here. And then I'm going to tack the 2 sides. Uh-oh. Looks like I might have cut. This one's just ever so slightly bigger. So I'm going to take my 10-Holt scissors and shorten that just a hair. And I shortened it crooked, but that's okay. Alright, so I take a piece of tape, attach that one, flip it around, and, whoa, what is going on with my tape? I need to clean off the top of my tape dispenser there. Okay. So now what we need to do is we need to put a strip here, a strip here, a strip here, and a strip here. Now you could have cut this to be one solid piece, which the more you start to make them, the more you're going to get the hang of that. But this way, this 1-inch piece will work with all of the Crafty Cubbies. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to lay this on here, and I'm going to mark with a pencil exactly where I need to trim that piece. And I'm going to trim that little piece off there. And then I'm going to grab another one because I need 2. Trim that piece. Keep all your little pieces. You never know when you might need them. So I've got those 2, and then I need this piece. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to lay this here, mark it, and so you need 3 1-inch strips to make one Crafty Cubby. Okay, so the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to fold it with the tape on the outside, and I'm just going to tab the edges there so it's a little bit at a slant. Right, so I'm going to fold it, tape side is on the outside. I'm going to start with the long pieces. So you don't even really need them folded, but it kind of helps when you go to fold the piece together. So I'm going to go ahead and take the tape backing off of one. And I'm just going to put it right in that little channel there. And I can't see. And then I'm going to match it up to this side here. Press. Right. So we've now attached that to the back panel. Let's do one more to attach it to the bottom panel or the top. Right now it doesn't have a direction. So just lay it in that channel and match it up all the way down. And boom. So the only downside to if you was to cut a thicker piece, like you could have done a 2.5 inch piece or a 3 inch piece, there wouldn't already be a score there for it to fold nicely. So just something to think about. Oh, actually we need 2 sets of these. Shoot, I forgot. Dagnammit. Look at me, forgetting. I may want to... Yeah, I'm going to go ahead. Actually, you need 3 strips, you guys. I messed up. So I'm going to go ahead, cut 2 more. I forgot. Because we got to attach it to the top panel as well. So it's best to do these in like an assembly line fashion. So again, I'm going to be making 5 total, but I'm only going to make 1 on camera. So when I make the next 4, I'm just going to get everything prepped and ready to go, and boom, 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 and next thing you know, they're all put together. But I just wanted to show you guys how to put one together, and then they all go together the same way. Okay, so attach this here and here. Right, so then you want to do a quick burnish. And for these next 2 pieces, you really want to burnish this too, because you want it to stay kind of folded until you're ready. But we are going to have to take this tape off. So, or the backing of this tape off. I always say that, the tape instead of the backing. This might be a good time where you had it on 2 separate, 2 separate pieces of tape. So I'm just going to take it and I'm going to add it to the edge of the side panel on this side, and then I'm going to add it to the edge of the side panel on this side. I'm going to burnish this one side down. Okay, so now you just need to be a little careful. So you see how easily it bends because we've already scored that. So what you need to do is you need to bring the one panel all the way up to meet the side panel here, and just match up the corners, kind of gently tack it. You don't want to press just yet. Same on this side, match that corner up, match this front corner up. Whoa. I can't get over top of it, so I can't see. I'm just kind of hope that I got it right. So it's not too bad. I did get off on my cutting just a little bit, but that's okay. So we kind of tacked it into place. I'm going to reach my hand in there and kind of push. Then I'm going to use my bone folder and really burnish that down. And it's hard to do. It's really hard to do with the small ones, but right. So now this is all you need to do. This is your Crafty Cubby. This is all you need to do until we start assembling them together. So now all you need to do is decide what sizes you're going to make. So if I were you, I would probably make, if this was my first time, I would make one large, one medium, one small, you know, the A, B, C, one of each, and just kind of play around with it and see, you know, what you might need. So just think of your first one as your prototype, as your mock-up. So real quick, I am going to go ahead and make the other 4, and then I'll be back. Just real quick, I'm having to make some more strips, and I told you wrong. I think I told you wrong earlier. I said the tape needs to be on the bumpy side. No, the tape needs to be, right, so the tape needs to be on the indented side, not the bumpy side, for constructing these cubbies, these Crafty Cubbies. So I think I told you to put it on the bumpy side when it needs to be on the dented side. So where we scored, so we scored here, then we folded, right? So this is the indented side, and then this side is the bumpy side. So the tape needs to be on the indented side. I just wanted to clarify. Okay, I've got all of my Crafty Cubbies made for the workstation, for the Crafty Workstation. And I've got 3. This is the small drawer, or I'm sorry, this is the small crafty tray. So that's what I like to use for my like ephemera pieces and things like that, the smaller pieces. So remember I said during the last set of videos, I said that I wanted more smaller trays because I want to separate them out a little bit more. So that's why I made 3 of those. And then this other size, oh, I've got paper in here, this is the B size, and I like to keep my paper scraps in here. And flowers too, that's a good size for flowers. So that's why I made those choices. But again, this is completely customizable. You can do whatever you want. You can make them however you want. But for this video, we're just making these cubbies. I'm just showing you how to put the cubbies together. Here's all the little leftover bits. I'm going to put them up over here in one of my little drawers. I need to find one that doesn't have something in it already. Like, look it. Here's one of the smaller crafty trays. Is it going to focus? Right? So it fits. 3 of this size will fit in there as well, but we're not doing that for this one. Not right now, but that's where I'm going to keep my little bits there. A few things I wanted to point out. Oh, I also have my extra piece. This is going to be on the very bottom of this unit that we're making. So I have the extra piece sitting right here. And then this is it. This is all of these scraps that I have left over from that chipboard that I cut down to make these, okay? But I'm going to save every piece of this because, you know, when you're making your crafty trays, they're smaller than this. So you're going to need smaller pieces. So don't throw anything away. Try not to waste anything. One of the things I wanted to point out, it's going to be kind of hard to show you, I think, but do not smoosh this to where it's flat. You want it to have that kind of square. I wish I could show you easily right here. You want it to be like that. You want to match corner to corner, the inside corner to corner, not outside corner to corner. Does that make sense? If you smash them in, your cubbies are going to be too small. Alright, so this is the first step, making the Crafty Cubbies. And the next step we're going to do is we're going to make the dividers. Let me show you. We're going to make the dividers that go on top. Because remember, we're making the Crafty Workstation. So we're going to make this set of dividers that go on top. And then we'll put this whole unit together. And then we'll make some crafty trays. So that's kind of where we're going. There's also that bottom, the crafty bottom. You could put feet on it if you want, but actually for the workstation, I suggest that you use the crafty bottom, but we'll get to that. So in the next video, we'll be making the divider part, the top part of this, and then after that, we'll start putting this together. So all right, you guys, that is all I have for you right now. If you like this video, be sure to give me a thumbs up and let me know what you think in the comment section below. Be sure to check out the description box for all relevant information. There's all kinds of useful stuff down there. And be sure to share my video. That sure does help me out a lot. And there should be some other videos here on the screen that you might enjoy watching. So I will see you guys next time. Bye.